A London lawyer runs a stop sign and gets pulled over by an Irish Garda. He thinks that he is smarter than the cop because he is a lawyer from London and is certain that he has a better education than any paddy cop. He decides to prove this to himself and have some fun at the Garda's expense. Irish Garda says, "License and registration, please." London lawyer says, "What for?" Irish Garda replies, "You didn't come to a complete stop at the stop sign." London lawyer says, "I slowed down, and no one was coming." Irish Garda says, "You still didn't come to a complete stop. License and registration, please." London lawyer says, "What's the difference?" Irish Garda says, "The difference is, you have to come to a complete stop, that's the law. License and registration, please." London lawyer says, "If you can show me the legal difference between slow down and stop, I'll give you my license and registration and you give me the ticket. If not, you let me go and don't give me the ticket." Irish Garda says, "Sounds fair. Exit your vehicle, sir." The London lawyer exits his vehicle. The Irish Garda takes out his baton and starts beating the hell out of the lawyer with it and says, "Now then. Do you want me to stop, or just slow down?" Every time there was a crime, no matter how terrible, he would hear the details from his officers and say it could be worse. One day, police were called to a beautiful house on a quiet street that belonged to a wealthy local businessman and his wife, the Dunwoody. When they arrived, they found the front door open and heard the sound of crying from the kitchen. The wife was sitting in a blood-drenched negligee at the kitchen table, crying hysterically. The husband was sitting calmly across from her, his hands covered in blood. He sipped a coffee. Bloody footprints led up the stairs to the master bedroom. A naked man was face up on the bed with a knife protruding from his chest. His clothes were on the floor, and there was $1,000 cash sitting on the nightstand. The investigating officers immediately called for the chief to come to the scene. "You know what hell say," said one. "It could have been worse." A while later the chief arrived along with the crime scene unit and a couple of detectives. The chief winced as he looked at the bloody scene in the bedroom, then walked away shaking his head. "Well, it could have been worse," he said. One of the cops, feeling brave, called out to him. "Chief, I have to ask, how? I mean, a man is dead. His family is destroyed. Mr. Dunwoody found out his wife is a high-priced escort and committed murder. And now the Dunwoody's kids' lives are ruined. How could it possibly have been worse?" The chief looked at him for a moment. "Well, for one thing, if this had been yesterday, the dead guy would have been me.